put this out here so I can read this. I have everything. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for watching A Touch of Tarot. We're going to do a reading and also a little chat on what to expect with this Pisces new moon. I had to do some research after yesterday. Hi, Renee. I mentioned to send me an email. I don't know if you got that message. But yes, beautiful 10 of Swords coming out right away off the bat. Things mentally, it's time to put some closure to things mentally. So I've done some research. You can't really see the papers all around me of this Pisces new moon and what's going on. So first of all, I didn't realize that Pisces is the last zodiac sign of the Wheel of Fate. And it's a huge deal because we're coming to closures now. And this makes so much sense for those of you that joined me last night live with my little mini breakdown. What the whole thing that's happening here is we are being tested. And if you remember, we got the card of ancient wisdom. What that has to do with the fact, it's with the fact that you don't have to take on these tests. You can ask your ancestors to help you deal with these things. So things are going to be popping up right around now, especially with Mercury retrograde. So not only are we at the final cycle of the Wheel of Fate, which is the Wheel of Fortune in our tarot deck, but we also have Mercury retrograde coming in. But the final cycle is to bring up past issues and see how you deal with them now, and if you've passed the test. And what's very important, so reviewing and identifying the patterns so you can make different choices this time around. And it's about blessing all the crap that comes in your way instead of playing victim to it. And I'm really happy that last night I had some help actually from a viewer. She's pretty intuitive. Well, she's intuitive. I'm not going to say pretty. And she brought up, you know, to look back at my childhood. And one thing I've never talked about on here, because I always say heal your parents, like the issues with your parents and all of that stuff. I had a stepfather I grew up with, and he really treated me differently than he treated the rest of the kids. I was an only child technically, right? But he had 3 children with my mother. And I was the only one he spanked. I was the only one that ever got in trouble. And I always was thinking like, oh, I have daddy issues and this and that. Well, the truth is my dad wasn't around that much back then. Now we're like best friends. But back then he wasn't. And I've always been guided to tell people advice that when you have kids, it doesn't matter if you're a good parent or you're a bad parent. Whatever you are is what your child is drawn to and gets used to when they're older. It's just, it feels natural for them. So I didn't realize, like, so I thought about my situation I had yesterday with my, not my twin, my false or whatever, karmic, whatever you want to call him. And I related that to, like, the first thing that popped up in my head when the viewer mentioned this to me, we spoke on text actually, was my stepdad. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've never actually cleared the energy with my stepfather, because once him and my mom finally split, one day she finally had enough of him spanking me, and I ran out of the house and called her from the phone in the garage. And then after that, it was all over. And I felt like I ruined everything, which I didn't. He was not really the best guy at that time. A few years later, he apologized. So I thought I kind of cleared that. But the truth was, my actual karmic reminds me, like when I finally put it together, and when I finally put the whole thing together, I was like, oh my gosh, no wonder. Because my karmic, like there was always something off about him. Even though we had a strong, strong connection, there was always something off about him. And he was the first thing, like when I thought of my stepdad, I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't clear that. So I spent the night just clearing that energy and purging my sadness that I didn't like realize what I went through as a child, being the different one. And not only was I the different one, I was the only half black child. The rest of the kids were like blonde hair, blue eyes, all from the same dad. And though we were like close as can be, there was a difference there. There was a difference in how I was treated. Anyhow, that's what I was used to. I was even more used to that than the fact that my father was absent. I was actually more used to being around and being accepting, being treated differently. So this is a time right now, and thank gosh, because that this came up now because it is time to clear. This is the last cycle of the Wheel of Fortune, and this is the big test now. And I remember like just thinking of how I just like said, girl, you're the best. Like, look what you've been through. I got right up out of my bed after I cried a bit, right out of my bed, went in the mirror, and I just like praised myself. And I'm like, you went through so much, but you're so strong, and it made you a better person. King of Cups here. Beautiful. And yeah, I gave myself a whole bunch of love last night and passed that, I guess you could say, passed that test in a sense. And one other thing I did before I even figured out this stepfather thing, which I'm really happy about, is I released this karmic situation, and I don't hate him. No matter how trashy he is or what he said, I feel like he's the hurt one, just as I feel my stepdad was the hurt one. And I always thought that. So it's really beautiful to actually clear that energy. And I recommend for those of you that have, bless this opportunity that comes in. If you guys have anyone treating you badly, bless the opportunity to experience yourself as patient, kind, and understanding, wise or compassionate in the face of cruelty and injustice and hurtness. So that's my own word, hurtness. Just bless the opportunity, and you don't have to deal with this all on your own. You can actually ask your ancestors to help you. And that's where the card, because I was thinking, why did we get the Ancient Wisdom card? Ancient Wisdom, they're here to help us. We have to ask, though, because you cannot, my favorite type of cards, you cannot get this divine intervention without asking for it. So keep that in mind, okay? I'm going to pull, I feel like 3 cards are necessary here. So the first one we have is Marie Masquerade. The second one we have is Strange Love. I love this card. And the third one we have, so this is a Pisces full moon reading. Let me see what time it is, 6:50. I'll timestamp it for people that don't like to hear anyone talk about anything, which, it's really important information, actually. So thank you for those of you that have stayed on and pay attention to this. At the bottom of the deck, one of my favorite cards that comes up in a lot of our readings, the private readings that I do, and you'll know this, is an important end to a new beginning. And this is it. This is the important ending. We are at the end of the Wheel of Fortune. It's here now. It's done. It's time to get off the merry-go-round. And that's exactly what my papers say here. No more victimhood. Just spread forgiveness, spread love, spread compassion. You don't deal with situations the way you used to anymore, and you don't look at them the same anymore. Have forgiveness for the other person, okay? So the first card we have, I actually don't really have to be reading all of these because I know these cards. We have Marie Masquerade, glamour, intrigue, and drama. Just remember to be your authentic self. The most important thing here is this woman has taken off her mask, and it's almost like what I'm feeling is taking off your mask of victimness. To be honest, this is what I'm getting, because this is what it's about. We are not a victim here. We actually have a lot of power in this situation. Strange love. So we can relate this to a few things. Loving yourself can be strange. This is not what this card is about. This is actually about meeting someone or being with someone. Also, like meeting, it's a big energy within the explanation of this card. Meeting someone that is totally not what you expect or would normally be with, and dropping the judgment and actually choosing love over everything else. My dad was abusive and a womanizer. He was controlling, and yeah, and I always say heal your father issues and your mother issues, but I never said heal your stepmom issues and your stepdad issues, But for many of us, like me, for an example, my stepdad was more present than my father. So that really was so I had 2 men in my life as a child. Like one abandoned me basically, like, whatever. But and the other one I was with, and he was treating me different than everyone else. And I had to accept it because you don't get to leave the house when you're 7 or 8. And he was there for quite a long time in my life. So the last one is invasions, boundaries violated, and dominance. So when these people come into your life and from the past, they're dead. I don't talk to my stepdad anymore. I thought I forgave him and let it go. And he's moved on too as well. But when these issues come back in the form of whatever they may come back, it's important to remember, first of all, to love yourself, even if it friggin' feels weird. And second of all, don't let anyone cross the boundaries or try to dominate you. And this is what the test is going to be about. People are going to be returning. Hopefully, some of them are real good and some of them are not what you really expect, but they have love for you, and that's most important. So pay attention to that. I'm going to be using my favorite deck that I use for, why can't I think of the name of it right now? My Divine Spread. And I also want to do a lover's read tonight. I'm going to show you guys what my Lover's Talk reading is. For those of you that don't remember, I've had many people book it recently. And it's such a beautiful reading, especially for right now when people are coming in. It's important to remember maybe they're not able to say some of the things that they want to say. Maybe they're not able to express themselves. And the Lover's reading, it kind of connects with the higher self energy and what they actually want to say or what the actual problem is. I can look at your conversation and tell you, are you communicating properly or are you not? And what do you have to change? So that's a beautiful reading. It's on my special. It's $50 and it's well worth it. First card we have is the Strength card. Now, this right away off the bat is telling me I'm picking up, have the strength to take that jump, right? That's not what the Strength card is about, technically. But they're on the edge of a cliff. This woman has a snake, which is showing that there's still those predators trying to creep their way up in your life. Have the strength to deal with them. And thank you very much for the person that sent me that picture of the wolf. She took a picture of two wolves, a picture of a picture. And on the feminine wolf, she's covered in light. And it's amazing. For me, I thought I took nothing but positivity from that picture. I don't know what she took because she didn't communicate back again, but it's amazing. So have this strength right away. Right off the bat, it's time to get strong. Oh my gosh. So I just said that, to take that leap. That's exactly what I was thinking about. It's time to take that leap. And you know what? Who cares if there's alligators in the water? You can deal with it. Trust me. Who cares? And it's almost, and I'm hearing like illusion. It's just an illusion. So don't worry about that. There's alligators everywhere. In a sense, as in the energies, they're always going to be around you, but you got to take that leap. And you know what's pushing this one is the lion. And it's like the Leo, right? This very strong Leo energy here. The lion's pushing her, and it's love. Take that leap of faith for the love you have for life, for yourself, for whatever it may be, following your passion. It's going to take some strength. So 7 of Cups, my favorite 7 of Cups in any tarot deck. Why? Because, and I'm saying take that leap with love, right? You know how usually this person's worried about the 7 cups and what are they going to do and what choices are they going to make? Well, here they've just dropped it all and went for love, plain and simple. And so for some of you, because let's see what cycle of that moon is. I mean, after the new moon, because look at it, it's right there, okay? It's the new moon. And then this is called the dismantling moon, yin energy. And so it's basically saying to me, there's going to be some huge shifts after, not the new moon, sorry, the full moon, which is on the 20th. And the dismantling moon comes on the 24th. And I hope I'm pronouncing it right. I'm probably not. But keep that in mind. Big shifts this month. And I'm so excited now. I'm really excited. I also brought my Heal Your Body book here. So after the readings, if some of you would like me to pull a mantra for you to say, let me know. Let me know what your issue is. I really recommend that book. I've had it for over 10 years. It's falling apart. Let's see what else is coming here. Come on. We can't make this up, right? Dreams are coming true. This is the Star card. And it's about following your dreams. This is the time to follow your dreams. And, I had such a crazy dream today because I ended up waking up at 5:30 in the morning, going to the gym, coming home and taking a nap. And in my dream, so much stuff was going on that I was like freaking out about. And I couldn't speak because I had lost my voice. I had a cold or something. And what the point was is that you're going to be getting into situations and you don't have to always say something. It's time to take it in. And it takes a lot of energy to not release, to not give in to the devil. And that's the truth. So I'm getting messages here at the same time. That's the truth. It's about holding it in sometimes and just almost like, I don't know how you have to suppress it because it was very uncomfortable for me not to be able to speak. I wanted to explode with all the things that was going on around me. And the message is like, sometimes you just got to take it in. And this is all about this transit that we're going through with the Mercury and the Pisces new moon coming up. These are the tests that are coming. And, the next time someone tests me, I just got to zip it. And this is the hardest thing for me to do. but I have to. That's why I'm usually always responding to your messages right on time, because like right away pretty much, because I can't not say something. I have to respond. So it's my issue, right? But we all have that in our own way. The change is coming and you have the power within you. This is a card of power here. This is the Four of Pentacles, but he has magic here. He's not hanging on to anything else but magic there. So change is coming and you're going to have to make the choice. Are you going to change? Or are you going to do the same old stuff, right? Wow, these cards are really beautiful so far. And I love these ones that sit on my hand like that. Eight of Wands. It's coming. Change is coming, plain and simple. Do not block the magic from coming in. And I always look at this card in a few different ways. That this person in some ways could be spreading the change or could be blocking. It's your choice. You see how he's holding his hand up there? Well, is the change coming from within him or is he blocking what's coming his way? It's up to you. Sorry. Now let's see what else these cards are saying. This is beautiful. So this is all about this new moon energy. And we have the Emperor here. And, you know, I'm personally noticing, first of all, is the sun. And then I'm thinking of the sun and the moon and the way that they work together, first of all, masculine, feminine. And we have the Emperor here sitting pretty, right? He's sitting pretty. Let's see what he has to say. I want to talk about him. Okay, beautiful. So we have the Judgment card in reverse and Temperance card. And what that tells me is, you know, for a lot of the people I've been doing readings for, yes, there's third-party situations. But for a lot of them, the third party is either gone or it's not actually the issue. Like the third party is money or work or stress, something like that. And with the Temperance card, there's a balance being restored here. And we have the yin and the yang right here. The balance is being restored. And I mean, I'm picking up so much energy of water and air. And I have to keep on, I always forget what so H2O is water and like the air one. Why do I forget it? I know it's probably the easiest one ever, but I want to know those symbols and terminologies. I don't know why, but water and air because it's two of the same. It's different, but they are both the same element technically, which is important if you compare it to the twin flames energy or your soulmate energy. You're different entities, but you're kind of exactly the same in a way, just formed differently is the best way to put it, for lack of words. This new moon, I'm so happy I did some research on it. I'm so happy I had the energy to, because I've taken 2 naps so far today, to be honest with you. I was hoping to have a double dream, but I didn't. So the Two of Wands and then the Six of Cups. And what this is telling me is about taking that leap of faith. This is my card about someone who, and usually it's masculine in my eyes. This masculine's like, and usually I picture the Queen of Wands on the other side of here, waving this torch. Like, I'm over here, come and get me, babe. Like, or come meet me. And this person's like, can I do this? Can I make this distance? I'm such a lack of words right now. Can I travel? Can I jump? Can I do the jump? Can I take that leap of faith and get to the other side of that flame and meet my Six of Cups, my love, my true love, you know, my memories, my goal, the one I want to be with? Can I do it? And that's huge. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. Beautiful. So I'm really happy with this. Like, I'm just happy that I found out this energy. And here she is, just as I said. This is how I always look at it. Here's that energy, that woman holding, this is the Princess of Wands, but she's holding that star. And she's like, I'm over here. Like, she's right there. And it goes along with that video I did recently with the 3 cards. I forget what it's called right now, but I've been putting it on every single one of my videos to get to. And it has to do with the divine masculine looking in the bushes with a flashlight. And there's like all these twigs and bushes covering his sight. But on the other side of that is the divine feminine in her Four of Wands. And the Four of Wands in that card is this beaming ray of light. And it's just a matter of time before he sees that light. And he's like, I got to go this way. Like, there it is. There's my calling right over there. So here we have the Princess of Wands shining her light and staying strong and just being in her element. And this is a strong energy for us all to pick up, because what it reminds me of is going back to when you had the strength. And here we have the strength card, right? To when you were like that young, spunky energy and nothing would deter you or nothing would get in your way or change what you thought, whether it was right or wrong. We're wiser now, but it's important to embrace that energy and to put an end to mental bullshit. Okay, this was actually the first card that fell out here, just to say there's an ending to this. You know, we can't be in this energy anymore. We can't be in the ruin of life anymore and sulking. And that's the truth. I keep on getting that message this week about go for what you want, right? Truly, if you don't sit there and wonder like, oh, like everything's passing me, everything's surpassing me, everything's raising up and I'm just sitting here being myself and doing this. No, go for what you want. It's time. It's time. It's time. It's never not time. I mean, you can only delay it for so long, right? What would be me? What is beautiful? Okay, so here we have Queen of Cups. I'm going to put those ones aside for a second. Queen of Cups, huge intuitive energy when it comes to love. This is the strongest energy here. And you know, I always notice this, okay? There's one pelican or whatever you call these birds. I'm not sure. I really have to like look up these things and have the terminology correct for you guys. So this woman here is pouring love to one thing, which to me represents herself. And she does that so she can love the two energies that are here. And these are those, you guys know the words better than me for this. And the roots go to the bottom of the water, of the lake, of the ocean, whatever they're in. I don't know exactly where they grow, but they go to the bottom. They're very deep. But she has to give herself love first. And for many of us, so this card is about failure. This is the Seven of Pentacles. But what this card represents to me is you keep on trying and you don't give up. It's like every time she tries, she tries, she tries, she tries, she tries. And eventually you get to this spot. Eventually you learn and you become the star of the show. You become the star of your life. And this is the High Priestess. But this is the High Priestess that like knows it. And she's just like, look at me shine, watch me. And therefore, she draws all this energy to her, all this powerful energy. It's very beautiful. Very beautiful. So I'm going to pull maybe one card more, and then we'll go to the Lovers deck and just say hello to that deck. And then I still want to do a karmic reading. I know, like, you know, I want to not focus on that, but I love my karmic readings, and there are still people going through the karmic reading. So this is a great card to get. This is Five of Wands. In this deck, this is what it reminds me of, okay? Because the Four of Wands in this deck, let me just see. Let me just make sure it's not on the bottom because that'd be even better. The Four of Wands in this deck has two people one on each side, almost of a Ferris wheel, trying to make it work, but they're not on the same side. And the Five of Wands for me in this deck is about them taking that apart and trying to rebuild, rebuilding it, figuring out a way to actually make it work this time. So this is beautiful. And I think we'll put one more. Let's see. Six of Wands, victory. Okay. So you can make this work. We went from the 5 to the 6. You can make this work. And whether it has to do with your divine partner or with yourself, because it always starts with yourself first, and this will bring your divine partner in, you can do this, okay, everyone? So keep that in mind. I do want to now pull from the Lovers deck, and let's see what they have to say about what love is coming in or what we need to know in regards to this transit, this change, this release, the whole shebang. Thank you, everyone, for your likes and your subscriptions and all the new viewers. You're like more than welcome here. You're more than welcome to chat with us. It's really beautiful. I have got some new viewers since I've changed my setup, which is really cool. So keep an open mind. Now, what it actually says, your soulmate may differ from your usual type. Well, we already know that. But I feel like it's keep an open mind for everything, okay? And this is important. I'm not just like so focused on the masculine. I think a lot of us already in this spot that we know that our masculines are coming, and we kind of know this stuff, like keep an open mind. Now, children could be involved. Things have been turning around with me. When I see the children card now, Sure, children can be a factor in the situation, but I feel like this has to either do with healing past issues from your childhood, or you might be having a child. Keep that in mind. I love that. I actually spent some time, and look at this. So this was at the bottom and it came out this time in reverse. But I actually spent some time today with my niece, who I never saw because I was like having that little bit of a cough and I didn't want to go near her. And she's only like 10 days, or no. I think she's 12 days old now. Most adorable. It's so beautiful to be around a little baby. It's so beautiful. So this is about releasing your ex. Well, first of all, I can relate to that I've released my ex. Okay, done. You may have to do that too, but also I feel like many people have finally released their expectations for what is supposed to happen in relationships. And I mean, some people, they get aggravated with the fact that I'm so forgiving to the divine masculines, but that's the way I go about it. And I wouldn't have it any other way, because we can't change them. We can only change our reaction. And that makes the change. That actually changes everything. So for me, I do look at anyone that does things that hurt people as a cry for help and a cry for like needing to be loved. That's just my way. And I'm not saying the divine masculines are good all the time, or whatever they do, is perfect. No way. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying I look at it in the sense like they need my forgiveness. It's forgiveness that's needed. It's love that's needed. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. Of course, set your boundaries, and of course, stand your ground. But do it with love, and don't be nagging about the past, okay? So very soon is at the bottom, and we have this passion. Like, it's coming, everyone. It's coming. Just keep this in mind. Look up this Pisces new moon energy and see how you can relate to it and what you can do to better yourself and not play victims. I can't be the only one that's had the return, okay? I'm sure people have had these returns of this bullshit coming in, and I feel like I just saw something flying around. And I don't know, I don't see it, but yeah. Anyhow, you look into that, and thank you so much for being here. I'm going to do a karmic reading and, the lover's talk, more importantly. So look forward to that. And if you want, you can book a reading, atouchoftarot@gmail.com. Otherwise, that's all I kind of have to say right now. I appreciate all your presence on this channel and all your comments, likes, and all of that stuff. Bye for now, everyone. Thank you so much, Renee. You're awesome. And Lauren and everyone that's helped me do the monetization, I guess you could say. And yeah, thank you for your support for sure. Okay, bye for now. And look out for my lover's talk, because you might want to do that. It's actually beautiful. I don't even know how to end it on here. Oh, here. Bye. Okay, there.